Noswaith dda i chi gyd. Diolch o galon am y gwahoddiad. Mae'n bleser bod yma yn hei gyda'r hwyr. Does peace stand a chance? A oes heddwch? Peace can often feel like a futile word amid such a turbulent world. But an urgent seeking of peace has been instilled in humanity for as long as we can remember. Indeed, exactly a century ago, in the year 1924, the women of Wales organised a peace appeal that would see the historical petition signed by almost 400,000 Welsh women. This was no ordinary feat. In 1924, before the age of social media, email or online activism, to organise the accessibility of the peace appeal would have meant walking from door to door, from farm to farm, in order to encourage the support of their appeal. Wales was severely affected during the First World War, as was the entire world. Over 40,000 Welsh citizens were killed. The aftermath presented a nation scarred from its effects. Following from this global travesty, it was decided that a newly formed League of Nations was to be established, a space where representatives and leaders from all over the world were able to imagine a warless world together peacefully. A place where all nations could not only be acknowledged, but could fully participate in the permanent court of international justice. This exact organisation later became what we now know as the United Nations. But for an international organisation as such to work, it would need every nation to participate equally. One absent force was the United States. It was by this realisation that Welsh women took political and moral agency over their future. They decided to approach American women in efforts to encourage authorities all over the globe to unite. Welsh women believed that a warless world was achievable, only if we managed to secure a bond of togetherness. A stunning custom-designed chest was made of Welsh oak, holding the pages and pages of signatures, was later sent to the USA. Upon the peace appeal organisers' arrival, a grand reception was held at the Biltmore Hotel. The Welsh and American Women's Peace Delegation were later invited to the White House to meet the US President, Calvin Coolidge. For decades, the chest of signatures was homed by the Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C., before finally returning to Wales until very recently. And it's now taking its latest home in Sainthagan, if you want to go and see it. The USA never did join the League of Nations, and the destruction of the Second World War later followed. In Wales, the Welsh women's startlingly spirited appeal was commemorated only by a small plaque in Cardiff's Temple of Peace. Time went by, and their effort gathered dust. Why then is this particular story of peace so unsung both in Wales itself and beyond? This year, together with the Urdd, Europe's largest youth organisation, a group of Welsh women and myself joined forces in celebrating the original peace appeal's memory and legacy. Inspired by the determination and activism of our foremothers, on the 17th of May, we share this year's peace and goodwill message across the world in over 50 different languages. It's easy to lose hope when politicians fail to listen and when authority turns a blind eye. But the passionate Welsh and feminine spirit lives on, not only to tell this tale, but to shape the new world that is so desperately needed. From the great pacifists and poets of our times, Martin Luther King, Maya Angelou, and Waldo Williams, who emphasize that peace does stand a chance, only if goodness prevails. That very goodness is dependent on our willingness to act. In the words of Welsh poet Mairead Hopwood, let us read about their legacy. Let us reimagine a peaceful world. It is our responsibility then to secure each other's well-being, and that today we consciously choose to unite in order to reshape the future for the better, for ourselves and for the women who came before us. I'll finish then by reciting this year's International Peace and Goodwill message led by the Urdd, myself, the Urdd's young ambassadors and the women of Coleg Caerdydd. In Welsh first. Gweithred yw gobaith. Llond cist o lofnodion, a chanrif o sôn am Gymru heddychlon, ond heddiw. A oes heddwch? Cawn gip, rhywle rhwng y sŵn a'r llwch, yn llewyrch llygaid y plentyn bach, sy'n hedfan barcud yn yr awyr iach. Gan mai gweithred yw gobaith i ddew yn gytun, i blannu daioni yng nghalon pob un. Ond heddiw, a oes heddwch, oes, yng nghariad a harmon i'r gan, yn her canrif newydd y ddalen lan. Hope is in action. A chest full of signatures and a century of defining a landscape of peace. But does peace stand a chance today? We catch a glimpse, somewhere between the discourse and the dust, in the bright eyes of the child who traces the arc of a kite across fresh acres of sky. For hope is an action. To live in unison, to nourish the seeds of goodwill in each and every heart. But does peace stand a chance? Yes, in the love that inhabits the harmony of our song and in the challenge of our century's next chapter. Diolch yn fawr.